beat Giants, it's about how cleanly they do it for them. That's their goal. They want a clean, crisp win showing that they have the mid-game under control and they're no longer throwing away their leads. As for Giants, they finally need to start, getting the fruits of their labor. The hard work they put in over and over. They even released a statement saying like, we are practicing, we are trying very hard to win these games, and nobody is more upset that fact that we lose them than us, but it has to start showing in the gameplay.
Yeah. If they get stronger when they get angry, we're going to have to see them Hulk out soon enough. But Origen, they need to go ahead and take away the Corki, the Poppy as well. Gangplank ban, no surprise. Giants have been doing some wacky pick and bans, but this is so far standard.
Yeah, this is a trend we've seen so far. A lot of AD carry bans, forcing a team to at least consider picking it up very early. Corki off the table, Gliss up the table.
Lucian's still there, though.
Lucian has very high market value right here. And then the GP ban on purple side, pretty standard stuff so far.
Oh, yes, indeed. So Giants taking their time about the last one. They will remove the Quinn, of course. Now, Soaz has definitely had a whole number of champions, but that Quinn was, despite a win, I don't want to say his most successful one.
Yeah, Soaz so far hasn't even looked that successful in the European LCS. A lot of deaths here. Coming into this week, he had the second most deaths. Luckily for him, the guy that he's laning against had one death more. So that's the worrying trend here for Giants. The only member that was really not the only member, the member that was underperforming the most on Origen has been Soaz. But the only one to really do even worse than him is Giants' top laner, Atom.
Yeah, Adam has definitely not had a very kind debut in the European LCS here. As we'll see the lock-ins, it's going to be that Lucian. You talked about the high market value, so is Elise, but Alistar just considered more valuable for Origen as they pick that one up quickly. There are still a few options on the board, but in the AD carry department, Graves is much more likely going to be hitting the jungle.
Actually, interesting that Betongyaka goes for Elise over Graves here. Origen looking to set up for some really strong power picks. We could even see that Graves in the top lane and just get unrelenting push 24/7 coming out and just putting a pressure matchup on Soaz.
That would be the first for Soaz too.
It would very well be, but he could definitely play those champions. It just seems that we have a different Soaz compared to last, but in summer he was peaking at times and just performing so well in a myriad of matchups, but this season so far, disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, if he can turn it around against Giants, they're obviously the lowest ranked team in the league at the moment, but it's always a start when you can turn a negative trend into a positive one, and ORG will look to do it here. As they lock in the MF, that's going to go into Sven's hands.
Yeah.
Another, falling down a tier to try and pick that one up.
So we have one flex on the side of Origen. Graves can either go top or jungle, but we have the bot lane established already. Misfortune, Alistar. It all comes down whether they play the sustain style with, just some healing, or they go for the Q flash here. All in on the Lucian lane. I don't think this will be a Lucian top.
No.
There's just no other AD carries that Audi can resort to, because he's shown that once the big three are banned out, he's actually struggling to get an impact on other AD carries.
Yeah, and considering he's been one of the more higher impact players on this Giant squad, lacking though it is, that's always a very troubling thing. As they do a quick lock-in of Morgana, that was something that Godford made a name for himself on last year, and a very quick blind Fiora pickup.
Yeah, at least they didn't early pick it this time. I like the Fiora pickup. I think it's fine, especially with Poppy off the table, which is a rough matchup at some points. I do like the Fiora pickup here. The Morgana into the Alistar is fine. It makes it that it's a skill lane and you can kind of just shove in Morgana Misfortune all the time, over and over and over. So in that sense, or in that regard rather, it makes sense for the Giants. And they have the makings of a 4-1 Group Siege comp if they actually take a winning mid lane matchup, which they can, because they leave their mid pick, counter pick for the last rotation here. Pepinero will have to counter pick Power of Evil, who has been struggling at times this season. So far things aren't looking too worst for Giants.
Yeah, Power has definitely had to reevaluate his choice as a champion, since he's really had much more success in a utility role, but Lulu taken off the table by his own team. He's definitely eyeballing that Ahri for the final pickup, and we could see a Malphite for the Wombo combo composition. A lot of firepower that OG's bringing, and that's what they lock.
Yeah, so Origen going all in for the 5-man team fight with the Malphite regarding needing some flanks later on. If Giants can stay even into the mid game, Fiora will start winning that matchup and whittle down that Malphite and put some pressure. And it's up to the remaining 4 members from Origen to root for something before Fiora starts taking those towers. We need Pepinero to get a high impact champion into an Ahri here. It should be possible to pick something that can at least survive and just offer some wave clear. Maybe just a Victor, honestly.
Yeah.
Just keep the waves away, keep Origen away from that tower. You add some teamfight prowess to your team. You're kind of lacking in the tank department, but then Betongyaka will have to fill that role.
They have saved Pepe's pick for last in almost every one of their games, and it has not really panned out, not just because they're not winning, but because Pepinero, or ex-Pepe as he's now known, has not had a massive impact compared to where he was last year when he could solo carry games. He will lock Victor here, or rather lock Azir here, had Victor on the brain, but it's a bird instead against this Ahri. We'll have to see how that one works out.
So yeah, I actually don't know if that pick rate includes this one, but I believe it's the first one that we've seen here in the ULCS, and yeah, there's a reason we haven't really seen Azir very often that much anymore.
I still like him, but bronze mid laner.
Yeah, it will be very hard because Azir's strength usually is keeping people at bay, but if you look at the damage sources where they come from, Malphite can close that gap and doesn't really care about the Azir ultimate. Once he gets the knock-up or the Graves ulti, damage can come from far, MF ulti comes from far, so there's no really value in the interrupt close range because all the damage instances just outrange the Azir ultimate, so Pepinero can, in essence, rather just immediately get blown up.
Yeah, that's really kind of worrying for somebody who's already been underperforming, but we'll have to see as the coaches shake hands and lock up these two comps. What do you guys at home think? Who's going to take this one? Will OG bounce right on back, or will Giants pick up their first win in this spring split? Hit us up on Twitter and let us know. But these two teams are locked, ready to rock. So let's make some noise and get ready for Origen versus Giants Gaming. Are you guys ready? I think they are. Let's see how they do as we turn over to the Rift.
When we turn our chairs so we can actually see our screens.
Rotation, Screpo, that's what we do here in Europe.
This might actually be all the rotations we'll see this game, because both teams have been severely lacking in the macro department.
Whoa. Go easy on him, man. Wait until the end of the game at least.
I mean, it's easy, you know, if you don't have to play.
Yeah, that's true.
You can critique them all you want.
I bet you're liking this career change, aren't you?
Yeah, if I was there, I would have made that play.
Welcome to
Then you look up some stats.
Rift.
Crepo would have not made that play. Crepo would have been dead already. Anyways, into game. Let's see if there's a swap coming out, because Giants have shown to be rather poor in the swaps, so I think ideally they will want to do standard lanes. They want Atom to get as much farm as they can, and they want to hopefully push in bot lane with the Morgana Lucian. And then if you then look at the mid lane matchup, Azir should be able to push in Ahri early. Yeah. So we could actually see 3 pushing lanes here on the side of Giants. Then Batongyoka can shine and see if he can find Amazing in the jungle.
This definitely could be Giants into this game. Speaking of jungle matchups, Amazing. It's definitely been somebody who's had some trouble with the changes that have come in so far. Hasn't managed to win on Elise. And against an Elise, we'll have to see how he fares. But this, I believe, should be his first Graves pickup in the spring.
Yeah, and for that exact reason that we just highlighted, Origen are going to swap, but Giants read it this time and they're going to counter swap. Looks like they're going for the standard check the blue buff instead of doing a camp, something you always should do when you have a double range in the top lane. Or they just send in their support. Audrey's not quite sure just yet. But Giants looking to start up the game tactically at least even.
That's always a good thing to do when you have such a momentum pushing against you. Take a look at our Keystone Masteries. No huge surprises there. Still a little bit more Thunderlords as we've got a lot of that burst damage coming in. Graves going for the tankier thing with Strengths of the Ages, of course.
Yeah, we see that a lot over in Korea. Honestly, I have to wonder where Batongyoke should actually not go for Strength of the Ages himself, because it's just so strong in jungle right now.
Good old Australia lanes coming in. As Mithy and Sven have found Godfrey and Audrey in the top side. We'll have to see how these two shake out, but Mithy threatening the cow around the side.
I mean, Audrey was first in lane. They knew it was a non-lane swap scenario. This lane should be pushing for Giants. They should have the lane. Look what Mithy is doing. He actually can't do much since he's melee range, but he's trying to buy enough time for Niels to start pushing 2v1. There should never be a scenario where Sven and Mithy are allowed to hit level 2 first in this matchup.
Giants definitely having trouble, failure to execute, failure to launch, as Adam had spent his TP to go down on the bottom side instead of taking the long way around. So that disadvantage shouldn't be a problem as long as OG doesn't look to make any map movements early on, but still, we're still seeing these Giants' mistakes and low to no growth from them.
Yeah, just no understanding. Mithy even skilled his W, so he's looking for combos instead of really going for the heal. Right now, it will come down to the junglers. Pushing lane does mean that you're exposed to potential ganks. The ward's in place. Unlikely that you can get something here. Bind lands on Mithy, though. Flash Cocoon.
Oh, then there's the Summoner heal. He is a big cow, but they are putting a lot of hurt on him. Ignite is spent. He will have to back away, or will he? 2 Summoners blown in all of that. And a heal on top of it from Sven. So Batongyoke looks to try to make some trouble in the jungle, but Amazing has already gone ahead and cleared the blue buff away. Let's take a look down to this mid matchup. Talked about Peppy being able to bully Power of Evil early on in this Ahri, but it is dead even. In fact, Power is a slight CS lead against Peppy. Giants across the board, they're starting off.
It wants CS
as
lead.
we expect. It's so significant, Crepo.
Yeah, he's so far ahead right now. At least 5%.
Three CS now. It's growing.
Building up.
Oh, okay, answer back. There we go. Power of Evil taking a little poke damage from Peppy, though. That's what you can get done on an Azir early game, but Giants definitely seem to have become such a more passive team since they're having trouble getting things done in the aggressive movements that we saw at the very beginning of the split that just netted no results. Like Sven was saying, unlucky.
Yeah, that's what Solike's saying.
I mean, everyone's saying it at this point.
Everybody's saying it at this point. No, at least they managed to make up for the early loss they took in that 2v2 in terms of lane push. That was a good game by Betongyake. It did propel Amazing forward a little bit in experience. I need to see if he can find an opening. These lanes are naturally set to be rather passive, though. All these matchup generally will not lead to any kills, and the only way we see any differences is small CS leads. So that is the normal flow of the game. It's mainly up to Betongyake because he's a CC jungler to break open some of these matchups.
Yeah, we already know since he didn't take the tanky mastery, he's probably going for a more AP-focused release, unless he, of course, picks up the Cinder Hulk. We'll see as he moves and creeps and crawls his way down around the side. No ward to spot him, and Soaz, who's had so much trouble, knows something's coming his way, and he dodges away, but now he finds the spider around the side, still has his flash, and in comes the Graves, turns around as he doesn't need to help out, and in the middle, Peppy taking more damage from Power Evil's Foxfire as he noms the biscuit. Giants can't get anything done on that front.
So either they spotted Betongyake, but I think he was hiding out of sight. Maybe the minion spotted him. But what likely gave the gank away was just a change in behavioral pattern from Atom. When you lane against somebody for as long as a time as in the early laning phase and he suddenly starts playing completely different, you kind of smell what's up. So before he turns around the corner, Soaz jukes there and then tries to outplay, buy enough time for Amazing to come in. But Giants at least quickly disengage. They don't chase the kill.
Amazing throws the smoke screen down onto Peppy, who's able to dodge the Q away. The Power has got him shoved up under turret. The Orb of Deception takes a bite out of his health. And with Mithy roaming around as well now as the duo lane of Origen on the ground.
Peppy level 5.
Oh, Spirit Rush spent. He's going up, going in again, but this time he forces the flash, and that means he spends his last charge away. But an ult for a summoner is always a good trade with Amazing coming in for round 2. Orb of Deception. Peppy comes in, knocks Power back, and he's taking tower shots. But now it's turned around. Here comes the Spider to take down Power of Evil. Betongyake with first blood.
Peppy Nero with the outplay. Last week, Peppy flashed in to get the kill and ended up trading the first blood over to, I believe, Nuketook it was, and dying in the process. This time, he makes the outplay on the first blood. He cleanses the Ignite, then shuffles him back. Betongyake repels over the wall, and PoE drops in that engage. Well played by Peppy Nero.
Yeah, you can definitely see this Azir pick coming in handy, and Betongyake coming up with kill number 1. We'll see what Origen can get done to try and answer back. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. After yesterday's rough loss against G2 Esports, they need a pick-me-up to end this week on 4-4. We'll see if they can get it against Giants. Everyone else has managed to so far, but Giants are the ones with the lead.
All right, Sven and Mithy controlling this lane. It's slightly pushing towards them. Audrey is getting poked every time he walks up for CS. He's eating the make it rain. Top of his face. Godred can't really do much about that. He doesn't want to waste the Black Shield against that damage, because then he's opening his AD carry up for a combo.
Take a look at this one.
Yeah, Peppy Nero forced the flash here. That's a good flash. Amazing comes around. And then the decision making. Peppy needs one more creep to level up. Levels up right here. Saved by both parts of the Q. But the shield that he gets from his E actually is enough to make him survive. So you have to actually go aggressive there. Touch a champion with the dash. Get the shield. Betongyake comes over.
Yeah, Amazing backed off too. See with Adam and Soaz dueling it out. You mentioned this Fiora being very powerful onto Soaz as the grand challenge is issued. 2 vitals out of 4 hit, but Adam can't get enough done.
Soaz still does ulti.
Oh, Mithy still got his headbutt.
So the headbutt actually applied, then Black Shield blocked the pulverize. That's why Adri flew away.
You don't really see that happening. It's all in those little timing windows, all in the reflexes. Big wave for Power of Evil here, but it should get chunked away by the Sand Soldiers. Power looks to go around the side, see if they can get a dive on to Giants duo lane. The
Black Shield
out.
Black Shield's still going to be on cooldown for like 10 more seconds.
They smell something, they're backing.
So they need to back out. Just going to track that. Base cooldown for Black Shield at this moment is 20 seconds in total, so that's generally how you want to beat a Morgana matchup. You go kind of safely aggressive, you don't go all in fully, or you W to a creep to basically scare the AD carry of getting caught. Morgana will panic Black Shield, that's when you back off. and then you go in. Generally, defensive spells will have a longer cooldown than offensive spells. Actually, a really cool interaction on that is Janna Tornado and Zenith Blade. I know we're going on off topic, but there's like a 1 second difference where you can then use that to your advantage, you know. Bait the defensive spell, go in again, surprise the enemy by a 2 or 3 second window.
Hey man, I'm always learning a lot when I'm talking to you, so keep on keeping on. Giants, meanwhile, though, don't have a whole lot of vision on where these Origin members are, as Soaz in jungle will back away behind the Rift Herald. Amazing. They were able to get some wards deep in this side of Giants jungle, but didn't go for the dive here, and now they are starting to ping for Peppy, but that ended in failure last time.
Yeah. They spot out Soaz, so they were going for like a double pincer on a summonerless or a flashless Pepinero overall. However, he is winning this matchup in terms of push pressure though, so that's what Origen is doing well. On paper, they should be being pushed in at least 2 out of 3 lanes, but they're pushing a lot. Amazing is even dueling Godfred in the jungle.
Yep, Amazing had to stop to reload as he was dark bound. Godfred, half his health is already gone, and you can see him burning away. That red buff taking a little extra out of him.
Yeah, and look how Power Evil is constantly leading to the right side of his lane. He's ready to make that move to the bottom lane and dive anybody that tries to defend or contest the blue buff. Origen is playing proactive. They're playing push. They just need to avoid getting caught right here and just play on the edges of safety, and then they can start chipping away at Giant's tower, at their jungle, and slowly get a lead that way.
But Batongyaka is trying to do the same thing. The issue is here, he's got no backup. You can see Adam hanging out solo in the top side, and all of a sudden, the big rock appears. Batongyaka is going to have to duel this one out. He's got the smite, should be able to secure it, though.
He should be fine, though. There is no way in hell Soaz with that mana can all-in Batongyaka. I don't even think Soaz should go for this play, because this is a cross map from Giant. If you know you're playing with 4 members of your team in the bottom side of the map, all you should do is play for safety, play for experience, and get as much experience as you can in the top side because you're essentially outnumbered. He
did manage to buy some time for Mithy and Amazing to start off on this Drake, though. Still showing face, Sven is pushing the wave in the bottom side. If he doesn't join, it'll still be a slower Drake, but there's no contest from Giants.
All right, and here we see the reaction from Giants. Because they're pressured in the bottom side of the map, they're basing, switching it to the top side. Hopefully surprise Soaz with a numbers advantage, or at least take the tower. So it's an okay reaction from Giants, but again, it's a good reaction to the play that was already setting them behind. So play 1 from Origen put Giants behind. Their reaction makes them even, but then Origen is quicker on the play, which then puts them ahead again.
Yeah, and Soaz knows something's up here. He's got to back away, dodges from the dark binding, and they've got nothing left in the tank. He shouldn't be hanging around here with so many members as Batongyaka shows face. But this tower's going down a little slower. They managed to push the wave up. Sven had already backed away and spent his gold. Looks like he was able to complete his Essence Reaver. Yeah. Still, Giants aren't too far behind. In fact, they're actually just about dead even in the gold game.
Yeah, but if you look at the waves, though, the next minute will be a little rough for Giants because Nils pushed in that wave all the way into the tier 2 tower. That is now going to bounce the way back. Even Xpepi is moving over just to get the remnants of that farm, then decides to back off. Look at your minimap. Xpepi walked to the bottom lane, then noticed that the lane was actually being pushed out and all the farm was gone. Then he ran mid, where he lost another 3-4 CS. This actually sums up Giants entirely.
Missing CS.
Just doing these rushed plays, you're like, oh, I gotta go bot because there's farm there. Oh wait, the farm's already dead. Oh, I gotta go make the, oh, I lost 5 CS right here. They're not planning ahead. They're playing super reactive. They're not working as a team. Nobody's communicating. And it's those little mistakes that build up and eventually lead to a big catastrophe.
Yeah, it's not just in each individual game too. It's just sinking them overall as Peppy goes way too far forward and Power of Evil finds him. A culling comes out at the backside from Audrey, but not enough to take him down.
I mean, PoE 1v3s. Expect right there, there's just not enough respect for the Giants lineup if a mid laner can go in 1v3, get that kill, get out on 60% of HP.
And he spent both of his summoners on the back of it too. Meanwhile, Sven's completely uncontested in the top. Origen are just being able to run Giants around.
Yeah, 3 members mid, that means top lane is exposed for Sven to push in. Then you have the 2-man rotation in the top to at least support Sven. 1 guy's in the base, we see 1 guy revealed in the mid lane, 1 guy revealed in the bottom lane. It's a simple math, you know, you count the dots. As long as there's not enough dots in the dark that can threaten you, Origen just keep going for these plays, chipping away at the jungle, chipping away at the towers, taking small leads. Eventually, Giants will overstep trying to defend. That's when Origen strikes.
They're definitely showing they can take advantage of those slip-ups. But Origen still far from perfect themselves. They're definitely getting ahead this game, and that is much needed to close the win out on a happy note for them as Adam and Soaz look to duel even on levels, but Batongyaka wants to odd those evens. Soaz runs away under tower, dodges the cocoon, no problem.
Yeah, while this is a matchup that Fiora will eventually win and whittle down, it's not a gankable lane because Soaz will always have either flash or ultimate available, so Batongyaka, because his mid lane and his 2v2 is losing in pressure and push, he's trying to gank the 1 lane, which is not impossible to gank. He can force a small advantage, for Fiora, but on itself, Atom should be fine in that 1v1. And Tongnok should likely be putting pressure somewhere else on the map, but because Giants play the game the way they do, he's unable to do that anywhere else, so they're not helping each other.
It's so troubling, too. When you look at it, Origen are the team that are going to want to try and group up and fight, but they don't even have to because they're being handed these objectives at this point. Power Evil just takes a free red. Nobody there watching, no ward coverage. Giants are losing a lot of coverage even inside their own jungle. They're trying to defend the wave in the mid, but there's nobody there. They don't need 3 members around the area.
Yeah, and they're sending PoE in a side lane. That's really smart from Origen. Just using the Ari for the split push pressure. At level 11, she's actually really potent in duels. With the Ignite, she has assassination power. She can't teleport into the fights, which means the remaining part of Origen should be relatively careful. But because they have this lead, they can actually duel without 3v4 in terms of minion wave control. And that's enough to open up the map for PoE to find that 1v1, get the pressure, maybe lure somebody away, and then Origen can go for a dive mid.
Dodge that cocoon. Can't dodge the spider, though, as the ward wars continue. This time it's OG pushing deeper into enemy territory. Got about 14.5 minutes on the clock, but Origen are running this map.
Yeah, look what Mythi is doing here with Amazing. Jungle support synergy, just like they had in the summer season. Deep vision, which means they can move quicker between the lanes than Giants can. They push in mid, force Giants to defend, roam to the bottom, put some pressure. Now Giants go more people in the bottom. Well, they go back mid lane. They can keep dancing until somebody takes a misstep and gets chunked.
Speaking of missteps, speaking of chunked, Batangyak could have taken a lot more than that one. Giants before that were pinging around the backside. They want to try to TP flank this, but the question is, can they fight it?
Yeah, look on the left. PoE, he pushed up top lane. Now he came in support for that mid lane tower. We saw the push in the bottom and the rotation mid. So OG, yeah, on top of the game in terms of rotations, Giants not pushing back at all.
They're not really rotating. At this point, it's more like a pentagonal movement. It's just very slow and inefficient. Soaz is able to push the wave in the bottom side. The rest of Origen are coming in suit. And Giants, once again, are late to this party. Peppy and Godfrey are here. Can they even do enough to stop this? With the Rift Herald empowerment, they're chunking through it very quickly. The Charm lands. That was a nice zoning one as Soaz is caught, but he's able to make his escape. Adam's still pushing in the top side. No response from Giants.
Yeah, Origen could actually come
there's teleport
again. TP. Soaz is ulti though, but if you lose it, he loses combat potential.
They use one teleport. They have to get something on this one. Soaz is slowed. Soaz has his ult. He spends it, and he throws out the Q. The shard slows him down. TP for nothing.
Yeah, and this time there's communication on the side of Origen. A couple of weeks ago, we had Sven walk to the top lane while they were fighting in the mid lane. This time the disengage is called by all parties. The 3 remaining members are not trying to help their teammates get caught. They communicate well, disengage, set up the push again. Now Soaz can base, he can catch that wave in the top lane, and Origen can start playing the map again. Giants, they need to use that window where Soaz's ulti is down to get something done, but it's becoming incredibly hard, especially with how well Origen have been warding.
Origen definitely kept Giants lit up, especially in their jungle. Batangyak tries to clear a bit of that out himself, but some of these are already expiring. Origen will just be able to replace them. A couple of those blue trinkets are easy enough to spot, but Batang completely misses it. Backs away. Definitely a lot of little mistakes, team-wise, individual-wise. Giants, pieces are scattered here, and Origen, they're coming together in the right way.
Yeah, PoE has his eyes set on that juicy top wave. It's always nice when you play the map for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then you go to your top lane and it's just pushing you right there. You get like 4 waves of CS, really easy. You can use your spells so you don't actually have to go to the effort of trying to last it. Quite a satisfying feeling.
Mythi and Amazing will be able to start on this dragon. They've just been able to control these neutral objectives so well since Giants have been pushed back to the further third of the map. They definitely got to get something going here. This gold lead's been steadily creeping up. It's about 6,000 ahead, and this will be dragon number 2. Game shouldn't go long enough to get to 5, but number 3, they get the movement speed. And Origen just taking every advantage they can.
Yeah, and the worrisome part is when a team falls behind, they like to find safety in numbers. And when you fall behind against a comp that likes you to be clumped up, that's kind of not a good thing, right? If you don't want to clump up against a Malphite, Misfortune, Ahri composition with an Alistar support. That generally leads to bigger deficits. But Giants, they feel like they're unable to split. The only one trying to split here is Adam, but at this point, Soaz can comfortably walk away at least. He doesn't have to fight him, just keep him busy. And
moving as fast as he can. He's able to get out. Yeah, no problem here. Origen just continue to try to run them around the map. Power of Evil continues to keep his eyes on that prize up in the top side. He's got Amazing to back him up, who's starting his back. And the only one really in the area just yet is still Godfrey. Peppy actually joins him up here, so they've got 4 in the space, but so slow to react, and you can see that big wave just continuing to push topside. Now they rotate back down to mid, just keep doing it all over again.
And actually dangerous from Giants. They don't have any blue trinkets. So if Origen keep up the control of the enemy jungle that they have right now, they can completely play off Fog of War and deny so much vision that Giants will just have to face check. You see how afraid Godfred was to enter his jungle right there. Had the Tormented Soil on the first rush inside to hopefully proc some Spell Thief's proc to reveal somebody, but
just nothing doing. Giants have only been able to secure one tower this game as another Rift Herald goes over. That ought to be the last one before Baron takes up his residence in the pit. And it was really only off that fast push. Soaz now, he's the one turning the pressure on to Adam. As they duel it out, Soaz thinks he can take him here. He's got his ultimate available, but so does Adam. There's the grand challenge, gets issued, looking for the vitals, dashing left, right, and center, going in. Can he get the outplay, gets the parry, but there's the knockup. Adam still has the health advantage, and he turns in, flash for flash. Can he get the outplay? He's taking tower. He'll be able to do it, but look at the top lane now. Origen starting off, and Adam's taken out by Sven.
So, hang on, Peppy.
Yeah, Peppy goes down. Power of Evil with an Ahri pickup. Giants will answer with a turret in the mid, but this will be only their second. To the 5, almost 6 of Origen. There is the big bullet time for Sven, but he's got some backup now. Amazing, picks him off. Sven flashing, Batong jumping up. They choose now for the action. Batong's not gonna last. A dash and Amazing gets the shutdown gold. The action has been hot and heavy the last 50 seconds.
Yeah, 4 members from Giants drop here in total in what seems a series of sloppy plays and unfortunate events on both sides, to be honest. Soaz going for that duel is completely unnecessary. He gets outplayed by Atom. Luckily for him, Godfred flashes the charm.
But he can't flash that.
Yeah, luckily, hang on, his PoE has ulti? It's charging up. So yeah, Godfred should be fine. We can watch him walk away, but we can go back to the play there. The duel between Atom and Soaz, completely unnecessary to take. Yeah, we had the backup coming from the Origen members down to the bottom lane, but that's something that should never happen in terms of plays, because then Niels or Sven is forced to take a really unsafe path in the mid lane to force the wave clear. He luckily makes it out alive because Amazing deals tons of damage right now with that Graves.
Yeah,
but it's sloppy from both sides. Giants are trying go for desperate plays, but Origen should be playing slightly better if they want to reach the standard that they were at in Summer Split.
We've seen this from Giants. It kind of fits the profile. They know when they're deep in a hole, they've got to make some desperation plays, but then they just can't get anything done. Peppy is in trouble, but he sends out the Emperor's Divide. Still being chased down by Soaz. Batong and Godfred are there to defend. Still using that ultimate for one. Soaz spent his as well. Origen pressuring on this top side, not letting up.
Good for Atom. Key split pushing, has teleport available so many times. We see teams from behind. Amazing is in chop already. You see teams from behind that group up with their top laner because they're so afraid to get their other part of the map dove or engaged upon 5v4, but you have to keep pushing. If you yield the side lane pressure, you may as well forfeit the game because you need to put pressure somewhere on the map at least to generate a play. So good moves here from Atom. He also 1v1 Soaz, so good play by him.
Yep. Tower still standing in the middle, but not much more to knock it over, so that's nearly 3 towers for Giants. Let's take a look at that fight that shouldn't have been.
Yeah, so you can never trust that Soaz is winning the matchup until the Fiora ultimate comes down, and at this point, yeah, Soaz tries to flash some damage, he gets up. But look at Sven, so he had to run down from mid lane to bottom. Amazing is coming there as well. That leaves the middle lane just completely exposed.
Saw the back end of that, but Adam is now the one being chased down by Soaz. No ultimate available for him just yet, but he does not need it. That is a speedy rock, and he almost gets juked, turns it around, takes a cocoon in the back of the head, but he will still get the kill. Soaz, 1-1-1 on the board.
Gets revenge.
Frozen Fist Malphite.
Yeah. Retribution for Soaz.
He's definitely trying to pick his score back up off the floor. Giants desperately trying to defend in 3 lanes here, but it's getting harder and harder with the wards, with the minion waves, with Power of Evil, a constant threat in the top side. I thought he was playing mid lane, not this game. Now Audrey gets knocked up by the cow, a huge chunk of damage as Sven makes it rain on his head, and it's a bullet time. Soaz comes in for the big knockup. That's a double kill over to Sven. They don't even need to take the tower to get the kills in the base.
Yeah, that ain't Falco. That means they're going back to the Baron right here. Origen, I was about to praise him on the vision and how they could use the Fog of War to generate Baron base, but you can also just get the Baron by wombo comboing the enemy team. Mithy with the zoning pulverize, the strongest of them all. The Power of Evil keeping Batong busy. 3-man Baron is going out right now, and this is the final nail in the coffin for Giants.
Just keeping Batong busy, don't even need to take him out. Soaz tanking it up is Amazing, and Sven fire the bullets fast and heavy, and this Baron will be going down. No problem, smited away by Amazing. 23 minutes on the clock, and let's see this big old dive again.
All right, combo to make it rain, also double up, And then, yeah, Soaz can just cut off the escape path. Double knockup. That was perfect. He had to go for Peppy and whoever was next to him, Godfred, I believe, and then just rely on the fact that Audrey was going to walk to the damage from the bullet time. Good execution, good synergy, and this is, again, what Origen's combination was all about. You know? Good opening pulverize, wombo combo. So little Giants can do, especially when they're behind.
Still trying to stick to the Adam split push when they can, but it's not much of a split push when you're still back almost towards your base. No inhibitors cracked just yet. There's still an outer turret remaining or an inner turret remaining in the mid lane, but that won't be for long. Third dragon taken by Origen will have a speed boost there.
I mean, a lot of scientists have issues with splitting atoms, Giants amongst them.
They definitely can't react fast enough, that's for sure. Sven and Power of Evil and the rest of the Origen squad here just continuing to light up this jungle. Giants, there's no way they could even try to flank. It was a complete failure last time for Adam. They cannot fight this, especially now with the Baron buff. That last inner tower goes down. Giants in desperation.
Xpeppy, show us the Shurima shuffle. 5-man knock up into tower.
Got some damage, Sven. There's a summoner heal. Culling is not enough. Still,
spooky.
Close call. There's no spooky ghost there. Godfred will not get the lockup, but there is the bullet time. Audrey's got to run away from it. Power of Evil looking for even more around the side. The grand challenge is out on him. Adam looking to 1v1 as Mythy takes out Audrey. Misses. Power of Evil shut down by Adam, but he falls down. A big old Thunderlord's proc on that. And Peppy is limping back to base with Godfred and Batong Yaka. It is a 1-for-2.
Yeah, a fight fought on 3 different fronts so far that our observers couldn't even zoom out far enough to track everything. But in the end, Origen, 2-for-1. They push in the mid lane. They're finally going to break the base. Looking at over 10,000 gold lead here for Origen.
Easy peasy. Soaz tanks the Dark Binding into the Torment. Soaz doesn't even worry about it. And he goes in to try and take out Peppy, and they just knock him down and grab themselves an inhibitor on the back. They might even get Batong. He's the tankiest member. He's gone up, but what comes up must come down. They take him out. 2 members left. Can they end the game here? I think so.
Yes.
Excellent answer. That's going to be Origen. They have secured their pick-me-up here. One Nexus turret will fall, so will the other. Adam desperately trying to save the game, but Mythy goes in, a big knockup, a huge chunk of damage, and it's all the Nexus. 26 minutes in, Origen will end the week at a 1-1.
Yeah, look at the sheer amount of excitement here on the side of Origen. Yeah, they came for a win. They came for a clean win. It was clean for the majority. I really like the synergy between Mythy and Amazing, especially what they did with Vision. The only misplay we can really point out was Soaz going for the duel, but yeah, if you're this far ahead, it's at this point you almost start looking for the limits of your matchup. See the group huddle here from Origen.
That's the face of relief right there.
Yeah, they get the win.
To shake hands on the other side. Definitely not, it was clean, but not the cleanest. I think they do need to scrub a little bit harder in the week ahead. But really good team play together, and that's what counts.
Yeah, I mean, Giants only got 4 kills on the board and 2 towers, and the only play that really was the failure was that duel from Soaz. Other than that, the way the lanes, yeah, managed to play out early. I can't stress enough the fact that Audrey and Godfred, when they get first the lane and they predict the lane swap, they just really need to push that wave. And when you play against a melee support like Alistar, yeah, you can just ruin his engage potential because Alistar can never combo aggressively if you have minion advantage. He can't do that. He needs ganks. They even needed Batong Yaka to even out that play, and even then, mid lane and top lane at the time just got repetitively pushed in, which meant Batong Yaka could only gank for Fiora, and you will never kill a level 6 Malphite if he knows what he's doing. So Giants, they like putting themselves in impossible situations, and at that point, a team with the experience of Origen should have no issues completing that task.
Absolutely.